Agent Kim Reactivated ends exactly where the story always wanted to arrive. Not with the world's greatest spy completing one final mission, but with a father finally earning the chance to live as a father. Throughout the entire first season, explosions, political conspiracies, assassinations, and betrayals filled the screen. Yet beneath all of that action was one very simple emotional objective. Agent Kim wanted his daughter back. Everything he sacrificed, every enemy he fought, and every impossible decision he made ultimately led to that single goal. The Season 1 finale delivers that reward, but it also makes one thing very clear. Escaping the life of a spy is far more difficult than defeating one. The episode begins in the middle of chaos. Agent Kim and Ri-young are surrounded by enemy agents and forced into another desperate battle for survival. Just when another deadly confrontation appears inevitable, Sang-ae arrives to help them escape. However, their route is blocked by the new Agent 66. Earlier in the series, this encounter would almost certainly have ended with one operative killing the other. Instead, Agent Kim makes an entirely different choice. Rather than fighting, he appeals to the new Agent 66 directly. He promises that another opportunity for revenge will come in the future. Right now, protecting Minji is all that matters. That decision perfectly summarizes how much Agent Kim has changed. The legendary operative who once solved every problem through combat now understands that winning a fight is meaningless if it costs him the family he has spent years trying to recover. The next major sequence pushes that idea even further. Han-soo and Jin Cheol become prisoners alongside Agent Kim. Mr. Ju gives them an impossible choice: kill their friend, or watch their children die. It is one of the most emotionally brutal moments of the season because the three men are forced to appear as though they have turned against one another. The fight looks genuine. Agent Kim takes heavy blows. Mr. Ju believes his psychological manipulation is working perfectly. In reality, the three friends are executing a carefully planned escape. Every punch weakens the net imprisoning them. Every apparent act of betrayal is actually another step towards freedom. The moment Mr. Ju moves close enough, they strike together, break through the damaged prison, rescue the children, and escape. The sequence is not simply an exciting action scene. It reinforces one of the series' strongest themes. Real friendship survives even when circumstances demand impossible choices. While those personal battles unfold, political events continue behind the scenes. Negotiations between South Korea and North Korea appear successful. A free trade agreement suggests improving relations between the two nations. Behind closed doors, however, another decision quietly changes Agent Kim's future forever. North Korean officials continue spreading the story that both Agent Kim and Ri-young were executed. The lie protects everyone involved. Admitting the truth would expose failures that powerful people cannot afford to acknowledge. Ironically, that deception eventually becomes Agent Kim's greatest opportunity. Ri-young's storyline also reaches its conclusion. After being interrogated about North Korea's missile program, he becomes little more than a source of intelligence. Once investigators obtain everything they need, his value rapidly disappears. Disguised as a doctor, Agent Kim quietly infiltrates the hospital, removes Ri-young, and delivers him directly to the new Agent 66. Their farewell is surprisingly respectful. The new Agent 66 wishes both Agent Kim and Minji happiness. He also promises that he intends to survive. It is an interesting moment because it shows that even enemies shaped by this same brutal system recognize one another's humanity. Ri-young later wakes alone on a North Korean beach. The information hidden within him has already been taken. His usefulness has ended. The series deliberately leaves him alive, but powerless. Another major storyline reaches its conclusion through the collapse of Juhak Construction. Agent Kim quietly engineers the company's downfall by exposing its corruption. Political allies begin falling one after another. Investigations expand. Arrests follow. Hai-ri eventually loses everything and is taken into custody. The corrupt network that spent the season manipulating politics and business finally collapses under the weight of its own crimes. Mr. Ju receives perhaps the most dramatic ending of all. Already facing investigations for kidnapping and murder, he leaves hospital expecting legal consequences. Instead, his past catches up with him immediately. Golden Teeth suddenly appears in front of waiting reporters and publicly stabs him. The moment symbolizes the inevitable fate of every criminal empire built upon betrayal. Eventually, violence always returns to its creator. The emotional climax of the finale arrives when the SMD chief delivers one final instruction. Agent 66 must officially die. This is not a punishment. It is the only way to guarantee freedom. As long as Agent Kim officially exists, governments, intelligence agencies, and old enemies will continue hunting him forever. A fake shooting near a resort provides the perfect cover. News reports announce the death of an unidentified man. North Korean authorities confirm the story. Official records now show that Agent 66 is dead. The world believes the legend has ended. For Minji, the news is devastating. She believes she has lost her father once again. The audience, however, soon discovers the truth. The death was carefully staged. Agent Kim is still alive. When father and daughter reunite beneath blooming cherry blossom trees, the series delivers its most heartfelt scene. There are no explosions, no conspiracies, no secret missions. Only a father finally able to promise that he will remain beside his daughter. Both receive entirely new identities. Minji becomes Kim Ji-min. Symbolically, they are not simply changing names. They are leaving behind lives defined by fear. The supporting cast also receives fitting conclusions. Mole Cricket shares an emotional farewell before giving Minji a decorative hairpin. It is a small gesture that reflects the bond they formed throughout the season. The laundromat owner finally reveals his name. Im Ho-won. He presents Agent Kim with a new suit, representing another fresh beginning. Minji also quietly closes the chapter with Nam-hoon. Rather than rekindling their relationship, she chooses to continue moving forward. One particularly beautiful sequence shows Agent Kim, Han-soo, and Jin Cheol trying on new glasses together along Happiness Street. The location is not accidental. After spending years surrounded by violence, they are finally allowed to enjoy something wonderfully ordinary. According to Minji's narration, one detail has changed more than any other. Her father smiles much more often now. That simple observation perfectly captures the emotional success of the ending. The legendary operative has finally rediscovered the ordinary happiness he thought he had lost forever. Then the drama quietly introduces its biggest surprise. Agent Kim meets Lee Do-kyu. At first, it appears to be nothing more than a job interview. Instead, Lee immediately begins testing Agent Kim's combat abilities. For viewers familiar with the original webtoon, this moment carries enormous significance because the Baekho Agency plays an important role in the continuing story. Even for viewers unfamiliar with the source material, the implication is obvious. Agent Kim may have retired from his old identity. His skills remain just as sharp as ever. The ending therefore closes one chapter while carefully opening another. Although there has been no official confirmation of a second season, the final scene clearly leaves room for the story to continue. If a new season is produced, the most likely direction would be a story set several months after the finale. Agent Kim and Minji would be living quietly under their new identities, attempting to enjoy the normal life they fought so hard to achieve. That peace, however, would probably prove temporary. Someone connected to Agent Kim's past could discover that the legendary operative never truly died. Rather than immediately launching another large-scale conspiracy, the story would likely begin with subtle warning signs. A familiar face appearing unexpectedly. a coded message left where only Agent Kim would understand it. Questions being asked about the Baekho Agency's newest recruit. Lee Do-kyu would almost certainly become one of the most important new characters. Instead of serving a government directly, the Baekho Agency appears positioned between intelligence work, private security, and deniable operations. That would create an entirely different kind of mission for Agent Kim. Rather than fighting for governments, he would be protecting people while trying to preserve the peaceful life he has built with Minji. Minji herself would probably experience the greatest personal growth. Throughout Season 1, she was largely someone Agent Kim needed to protect. A continuation could shift that dynamic by allowing her to uncover more about her father's past and become an active participant in protecting their future. The return of the new Agent 66 would also create fascinating possibilities. His respectful farewell suggests he is no longer simply an enemy. Instead, he could become a reluctant ally whose experiences mirror Agent Kim's own. Both men were created by violent systems. Both are searching for lives beyond those systems. Finally, any future season would almost certainly preserve the emotional heart that made the first season work so well. The action, espionage, and conspiracies provide excitement, but they have never been the true story. At its core, Agent Kim Reactivated is about a father determined to protect his daughter at any cost. Season 1 ends by allowing that father to finally live as an ordinary man. Yet the final meeting with Lee Do-kyu reminds us that legends rarely remain buried forever. Agent 66 may officially be dead, but if the people he loves are threatened again, the world may one day discover that some legends never truly disappear.